welcome to the Disneyville podcast, episode 6, in which we're going to talk about something that we didn't say we were going to talk about.
Yeah, we're just a bunch of liars, folks.
Straight up liars. We had planned on talking about California Adventure in this podcast.
But then I was at a doctor's appointment this morning getting blood drawn, and I was texting with Tyler because I was looking at a California Adventure map and kind of planning, and I thought, wait a minute, we have not done enough here. Like, genuinely, we didn't feel expert enough to even do a top 10 just yet.
Yeah.
I could have listed 10 things that I love, but I was like, just didn't.
Well, there was
didn't feel right.
I wrote down a list of things that we have not done or we have only done once. And this is not an exhaustive list.
No.
So the red car trolley, the Frozen show, which I'm not even sure if that's back yet.
And we know a lot of things obviously are the same or very similar at Disney World versus Land, but we wanted to feel confident.
Right. But Grizzly River Run, Soarin', King Triton's Carousel, Silly Symphony Swings, the Golden Zephyr. There's so many things that we have not done.
I'm not convinced we did the Little Mermaid ride there.
Or only
we might have, and I'm pretty sure it's exactly the same. But
or we only did it once. So again, I know I'm a broken record about this, but now that my brother-in-law, your brother, lives in California, we're planning on going at least once a year. So we'll definitely have a lot more. So we were thinking maybe next time we go, we'll make sure and spend more time in California Adventure, and then we'll come back and do a thing. Now, that said, we did want to do, because we have a couple things we actually really like in California Adventure, so we wanted to do a top 3. Did we say our names?
No. I was just going to say, should we start over? Because we haven't introduced ourselves
at all. Good.
I'm Jessica. Are you Tyler?
Depends on the day.
Listen, guys, we are out of practice. We took a week off, so if you notice our schedule, we kind of pushed everything a week because we did just spend a week in Disney World, and it was lovely. We've got vlogs to come if you want to see.
Some of them have already started.
Yeah, they definitely already
By the time this has come out, I think maybe three of them, maybe even 4 will have come out.
So those are over on Tyler's channel. If you just search Tyler Braun, you will find them. And they're like the best we've done, for sure.
Yeah, between some of the new camera gadgets that I have, and then the our editor Justin over at RZ Roll has done such a good job editing these. I think they're turning out really nicely so far.
Yeah, so definitely go check those out. But with all of that, I feel very rusty.
Yeah,
even though we've only done like 5 episodes before this, but still, I feel so rusty.
Well, okay, so we decided that we were just going to do quick top 3. In California Adventure, because we did say we were going to do a top 10 in California Adventure, and I think some people might have been looking forward to it. Well, 2 or 3 people at least.
Maybe in another year we'll be able to do that after we've gone another time or 2.
Yes. So we're going to do rapid fire top 3 in California Adventure, and then we're going to talk about top 10 in Disney Springs. And I think that's sort of going to round out our top 10 series here with all the quote-unquote parks. Obviously, Disney Springs isn't a park, but it's a park.
And like we said, we're not just a ranking podcast. We want to do more. So we're excited to branch out and do some other stuff after this last episode.
And we don't know if we're going to do resorts next or we're going to do food next. But it's going to be in Walt Disney World, but I don't know what we're going to do yet. But it's going to be one of those. Yeah. I'm looking forward to it.
We'll see. So do you want to start with your number 3, California Adventure? We'll go quick.
Number 3, Radiator Springs Racers. Was that on your list?
It is my number 2. I feel like I should just tell you because we're doing this anyway.
And again, it's just a fun ride. It's a test track. It's the same track as Test Track.
Is it the exact same?
Yeah. So
it definitely is similar.
It's one of those ones where they put a new facade over, but it's still really good.
And it's totally better than Test Track, guys. I mean, the theming, please.
And really, I think that was Genevieve's first real roller coaster. Maybe she had done the Goofy ride in Magic Kingdom first, but that was she was so excited to ride that ride. And obviously it's not a roller coaster, but it is like a fast ride, and she was so excited.
And it's just, again, the theming, 10 out of 10. You feel like there's that picture spot you can get in front of the ride if you've ever been there. And it's so cool. If we have a picture of ourselves in it, if you're watching the video, we can pop it up. I know we've taken some there, so we'll see what we can find, but it's just, you really feel like you're in Cars Land. I mean, listen, I could just put all of Cars Land here on my number 2 because I'm not even that much into the movies, but it's just so cool. You really feel like you're there.
Such a good job on that land. Okay, so that was your number 2. Now go to number 2. We're all over the map.
We are. My number 3, Guardians. It's again Tower of Terror with the Guardians overlay. Yep. So cool.
That was flip those. That was my 3 and 2. So
okay, so there you go.
Yeah, so 2 was Guardians of the Galaxy.
I mean, just so well done. And having seen that, and then of course a couple years later writing Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout over in wait, is that the name of the one? Now I'm confused.
No. Mission Breakout
is California Adventure.
Yes.
Okay, Cosmic Rewind is the one.
Yes.
See, this is where it gets confusing. Also, totally different rides.
Very different.
Nothing alike. But it's so cool that they've used that and done two very different things. And I just think that was a smart overlay. I will say this, though, you know, with it being California Adventure and like Hollywood's literally in California, and I feel like Tower of Terror, it was interesting that they chose the California one to change into Guardians. I guess that's it.
Yeah, I just feel like they're because they have so little space, they're do
just
way
limited.
more changes than
They have to, yeah. Or I mean that they have to. So, but it's really cool. I mean, there's a reason
they did a really good job
list.
with that. Yeah, I agree. I think we probably both have the same number one. My guess is
1, 2, 3. World of Color.
Yeah,
Cry every time, guys. If you haven't seen it, if you go to Disneyland / if you go to California Adventure, priority.
Yeah,
it's that good,
so
and it gives you all the old like 1950s. Like the World of Color show vibes. Color. Did you expect me to sing higher? Because I expected myself to sing higher and then I went lower. Okay.
All right. Okay. So now, those are our top 3 California Adventure. There's a little sprinkle of California Adventure for you. That said, I do love that park. We have not spent enough time there. So that's it is a good park though. Okay. Yes. So now we're gonna do top 10 in Disney Springs.
So we had a few rules.
What are the rules?
Our rules were it couldn't be a restaurant. Again, it's basically the same rules as the parks, but this was trickier because Disney Springs, first of all, quick history lesson, I know most of you know, used to be called Downtown Disney, used to be called
the Disney Village.
Yeah, we were just reading about that because we just stayed at Saratoga Springs and that's connected to it, and it's actually really, really fascinating. But
well, it was Disney Village, then Downtown Disney, and then when that PBS show came along, it was Downton Disney for quite a while. Then it turned into Disney Springs.
And sometimes it's still Downton Disney.
In Downton Disney.
But so no restaurants. We're always cheating a little bit, and I have a strong suspicion you are too. I cannot wait to hear your top 10 because this is going to be a mix of like shops. There are some things to do in Disney Springs. I am an entertainment. I'm excited to hear your 10. I have a strong suspicion we have obviously some similarities, but ours might be very different.
Yeah, I'll be curious. Well, and obviously kind of looking through a lot of it is shops. I mean, it's obvious. It's a shopping, dining, and entertainment district, but shopping is the number one thing. I mean,
SDE for short.
And
shopping, dining, entertainment. What you want? Gym, tan, laundry. Yeah, it's a lot.
Gym, tan, laundry.
But I'm excited.
Was that like a?
I think it was Jersey Shore.
Is that what it was?
I didn't even watch that. I just remember my brother teaching me about it.
Fun of Jersey Shore, or was it actually on the show?
Both. I think sometimes they make fun of themselves.
I've never seen the show. Okay,
I haven't either.
So your number 10.
Ooh, my number 10, Uniqlo.
Wow, I'm actually surprised that's so low on your list.
So first of all, it's a shop. I almost said restaurant. What? It's a shop, and everything's just so much less expensive. So it's a store where you can get all kind, men's, women's.
Look at my tag. This might actually be a Uniqlo shirt.
It is not.
Okay.
But you do. I just folded one of your Uniqlo, and actually my favorite fall and spring jacket I get so many questions about is Uniqlo. Oh my gosh, it's the best. Anyway, so it's a store where you can get men's, women's, babies, kids clothing, and they sell all kinds of basics and cute stuff. Like it reminds me of H&M but different. But they have a section of Disney stuff, and it's so much cheaper than what you would get at World of Disney, etc. And so that's why I originally fell in love with it. And now we just always go in. I've gotten like gifts for other kids in our lives, like cute baby clothes. They always have like Winnie the Pooh and Dumbo things, I feel like, and they're always so cute.
Yeah, and it's different patterns and different designs from what you'll find anywhere else too.
Yeah,
so that's
and it changes
cool.
like every time we go. It's different stuff. It's never the same twice.
I would agree.
Ever.
And we'll get to that. I'll talk about that in a little bit. All right, so my number 10. Oh wait, hold on, 2 seconds. We got to quickly do our mug check.
Oh my gosh.
Or mug shots. What are we calling it?
I think mug shots is pretty funny. Mug shots. Did you get it?
Yeah, I got it.
All right, so mine is the one we bought on this most recent trip, and it's like this pastel, beautiful mug, and it's got stuff from all of the parks. So I've got coffee all over it. It's got like Small World, the Castle, Dumbo, but then it slides into like there's Tower of Terror, the Epcot Ball, Remy, the train, Teacups, Jungle Cruise. And on the inside, where it's like all light blue, it says Walt Disney World. So it's one that they know what we like, guys. They're just doing it.
It's got the tree, but does it have anything from Hollywood Studios?
Yeah, there's a tower. Wait, is that the Tower of Terror? Right? It's a lot of Magic Kingdom. Oh, there's Hollywood. There's a Pixar ball.
Yeah.
Anyway.
These
and there's Star Wars stuff.
Oh, okay, there we go. Yeah,
Yeah,
so these
it's
are the
just
mugs.
pastel and beautiful. If we can link them, I know not a lot of you guys are listening, obviously. If you pop over to our YouTube channel, Disneyville Podcast, we can probably link these on the Shop Disney site. I'll see. Sometimes it's a little iffy on if
it's very hit or miss. Yeah. And these. So by the way, if you watched our most recent vlog at Magic Kingdom, this is the mugs we bought when we were there. So I got one from Seoul, and on the one side it says Half Note, which is the jazz club, and then on the other side it's got him playing the piano and stuff, which I almost bought this mug when we were in Destin. We went to a Disney outlet store, and I was so close to buying it, but then I
didn't realize that was the one there.
Yeah, I ended up buying another one, the one that I used in our Hollywood Studios episode. And then when we got to the Magic Kingdom, I saw it again. I'm like, I need that mug.
It's
so
like
good.
the most perfect one for you.
Yeah, and I explained some of the story behind it in that vlog, but it is a great mug. Okay.
Number 10.
My number 10. 12 days, or I'm sorry, I don't think it's called 12 days, just Days of Christmas, which is the Christmas store there. And it's funny because I don't think I would have immediately thought of this store, but as I was kind of looking through, I even had a paper map out and I was looking at them, and I was like trying to close my eyes, like picturing being there and all that. And I was like, I like going into that store because I feel like a lot of times, about half the time, we buy an ornament there because they have so many of them.
So many.
But it's just it's a fun store. I cannot imagine working there though. So to those cast members who work there, listening to Christmas music, I get tired of it at Christmas time.
Like, that'd be a lot of Christmas.
That is a lot of Christmas music. but it's a fun little place to go into, and I feel like we always somehow make it in there.
Well, because it's kind of at the start of like the marketplace area, right? Especially like when we've stayed at Saratoga, we walk that way and you walk right through there. And yeah, it's a very magical shop. Does it smell like Christmas in there? I feel like it does, but I might be making that up in my mind. Like, does it smell like cinnamon? I don't know, but it's really cool. And you can get personalized ones there. Like we've gotten some for our kids.
Yeah.
Baby's first Christmas type.
Yeah. Also, if you happen to have worked with People Mover Travel, Rachel, she is she's a part of People Mover Travel. She used to work at the Days of Christmas when she was a cast member there.
You got to ask her about her experience. What is her relationship to Christmas music like now?
yeah, that's true. I should ask her that. Okay, so your number 9.
Splitsville.
Nice. That's on my list too.
Such a reaction.
I thought it was closer to yours. I was gonna say it was the same one, but it's not.
Just because it's so fun. This most recent time, which was a while ago now. Well, no, it was only January. Anyway, we just went and ate there, and I think the food there is pretty good too. But of course, it's a bowling alley, so you can get dinner, you can get drinks, you can bowl. It's huge in there.
Multi-level.
So fun. I know some people do like events there too. I feel like when we were there last, there was like some big, it was just a whole bunch of high schoolers.
We did an agency dinner. We ended up doing it at Chef Art Smith's, but one of the places I was looking at was Splitsville to do it there instead. But yeah, I know they do like events and that kind of stuff there.
Because it's just big enough to do that. But yeah, I just love the idea of being able to go and bowl and just have fun. And I think one of the things that's so amazing about Disney Springs is that it's free to go in, right? Like, I mean, it's free to go anywhere. And so it's cool if you were local or if you were just visiting and you were only going into the parks. Like, let's say you were staying 3 or 4 nights, but you were only going 1 day in the parks. Disney Springs, there's so much you can do. I mean, you can make a whole half day out of just going to Splitsville and having a meal and bowling and all that. So I had to put on the list because I think it's kind of unique, and it's actually like a really nice bowling alley. There's a lot of bowling alleys out there that aren't quite. This one's really nice and clean.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And it doesn't smell like smoke from the 80s.
Yeah, that very stale old smoke.
Oof.
Yeah,
you can't get that out of the walls, you know.
It's amazing looking at when we first started going to Disney in earnest, you know, a little over 10 years ago now, looking at what Downtown Disney was. And I used to really like Downtown Disney.
I'm sorry, it's pronounced Downton Disney.
My apologies. Downtown Disney. Downtown Disney. Yeah, that's exactly what I was going for.
Although now I think of that actor that played, was it Spratt?
Yeah.
And of course he plays, now I can't think of his name, in Ted Lasso. And he's just so lovable.
But looking at the transformation they've done in the last like 10-ish years is incredible. They have done such an amazing job. And
it's a different place.
I used to love going there, but now I really love going there. Yeah. It's such a fun place, and it is like you said, it's free to get in. The hard part is getting out without spending any money.
So it's not free at all, folks.
All right, so my number 9 is a relatively newcomer to the mix, the Spice and Tea Exchange.
Interesting that this is on your list.
I know, right? But I literally saw it the last time we were there, and I was like, I really like that store, and I'm not a huge. So it seems like it's mostly tea with some spices.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of buying mixed spices a lot of times, like pre-mixed herb blends, because I feel like, I don't know, I just feel like they're just a mix of like probably 3, 4, 5 herbs most of the time. So I'd rather just have them and then sort of make a little batch really quickly and then use it.
I will play devil's advocate there, though. There is something nice about having a seasoning works really well on steak or chicken that you just use all the time.
100%. And
well, because like we used to try to make our own taco seasoning, and then we realized like, okay, that's an easy one to buy because you use it enough that it's like
right. And my only thing is, I think it's pretty easy to take your spices and mix them. You can use, especially nowadays, you can find so many recipes online for herb spice mixes, whatever. But then if you don't like it, you're only using it, one time on a piece of chicken, and then eat, I feel like I get tired of eating the same things over and over again. So it's nice to be able to. Anyway, not the point of the story. It is mostly teas, and they have a little stand in there where you can actually go and buy tea. And we got tea this last time, or whatever, 2 times ago. And the tea itself is really good.
We got iced tea. It was like I got some kind of green tea mumbo jumbo, and it was really tasty.
I think I got some Earl Grey something or other, and it was really, really good. But they have all these like fun teas, and they have all the accoutrements that comes along with it.
That's a good point, though, to not skip over that, because I feel like over the years we've gone in and out of that store kind of quickly, but like actually stopping at the little area where you can order tea to go, it's worth, if you've gone a lot and you've never gone in there, especially if you like tea, whether iced or hot, I would definitely go in there. Yeah, we should do that again next time. I like tea.
All right, your number 8.
Hold on, let me stretch here.
Yep, take your time.
Just
no rush.
All right, number 8, Sugarboo Co.
Wow.
There's no way this isn't on your list.
It is, but I can't believe it's so low on your list. But I guess
it was a big deal to make it to the list. I have like 100 honorable mentions.
That's so funny. It was really not hard, but it was harder for me to make this list. So
gosh, I was just flowing. I must have been something about the environment of the doctor's office. Just my creative juices were going. Anyway, it's that store. It's kind of under the covered area where there's like Vera Bradley and Lily Pulitzer, I think. Yeah, maybe. So there's a lot of there's a lot of stores in there, but it's within there, and it's one of those shops you go in and you're like, I'll take one of everything. Is a lot of it overpriced? Absolutely. But it's so fun to look at. Like, I've bought a bookmark from there they just have cool quotes on different things, and I just love it. I know I've bought you a few gifts from there. I bought some Christmas gifts for Genevieve when we were there a few years ago because they have a cute little kids section. Again, everything is overpriced, but it's all so cute and whimsical. I just love that shop.
Yeah. All right. We'll come back to my opinions.
I figured.
All right. So my number 8 is DisneyStyle, which is one of the places. It's closer to like the Cirque du Soleil area. But it's relatively new. I think it's only, 5-6 years old.
It's new when Disney Springs became Disney Springs.
But I like it because it's one of those places that I feel like I can find shirts and things there that I can't find anywhere else, even down the way at World of Disney or anywhere else. They have like very unique things there that I can't find anywhere else. My problem with DisneyStyle, though, is I've never bought anything there because they never, ever, ever have my size.
Ever. It's always gone.
It's always like extra smalls or triple XL, and I cannot find
anything in between.
And I don't know why that is, but they have so many cool shirts.
Well, I think it's because everyone buys them.
Yeah.
And it's it must be that more people those sizes are buying them, but yeah, that has become like an issue where we're like, all right, and so we try to see if we can find it online or whatever, and every once in a while we'll get lucky, but yeah, it does kind of stink. But that shop, I'll talk about it later because that is much higher on my list.
Wow.
So
yeah, and I like the big LED screen they have there in the back. I think it's LED. I think it changes, doesn't it, throughout the day?
Good.
Okay. Our camera overheated, and so we had to take a break. So I think this is where we just were.
Yes, we're not sure. Okay. So I think we're on number 7.
Yes.
And was I going first on numbers? Or?
Yes.
Okay. The Coca-Cola Store rooftop. Did you forget?
I completely forgot that
existed.
You
love that. I'm surprised. So there's obviously the Coca-Cola area, and there's a whole shop below, and all. I think there's like a couple floors, which is fun enough. But I'm like, I like Coke, but not like I don't need anything that says Coke on it. But the rooftop has this whole area where you can go up and you can get flights of different Coke drinks. You can just get one. They've got, I think, Coke floats and like all just different, however you might like your Coca-Cola, you can get it that way. And it's so fun. And you have such a cool view of Disney Springs itself while sipping on your colas, your cola drinks.
Yeah. I can't believe I forgot about that. The building itself, I mean, completely forgot about it. But yeah, that rooftop bar area there is very cool.
It's such a unique, like, I love that when they built that, they did that.
Yeah.
Because it just makes it, like, I don't know that I would really have much of a reason to go in there if not for that. And it's just so neat.
The building itself is very cool. Like the glass outside where you like it has the ramps going up to the different floors. That's a very cool design.
It is very unique.
Just in general. Okay, so my number 7 is kind of a cheating one. And it's only because we've never done it.
I love a good cheating one.
It's because we've never done it. The Amphicars.
Okay.
And I wasn't going to put it, I had it on my honorable mention list, but I moved it to my actual list because even though we've never actually done it, which we've got to do it at some point.
I know.
I just love seeing them all the time. Like just walking around, you get to see them out there, or even being over at Saratoga Springs, we would just see them out, just tooting along.
Yeah, if you've never seen them, they're literally cars that there's like a ramp. And they just ramp right on into the water. And you just toot along in the water. Yeah. It becomes a boat. Hence the name Amphicar.
They look like vintage cars.
Yeah.
But they're also, so neat.
Anyone else think they should be Amphicars instead of Amphicars? I always want more. I want Amphicars. I've thought a lot about this.
Yeah.
That's all.
I don't know enough about the etymology of amphibians to know if that's correct
better.
Or not.
Just trust me. It's better. Amphibicar.
Okay, so your number 6.
Okay, my number 6 is I had to look up to make sure I had the right one.
You were excited about this
The
one.
Dockside Bar at the boathouse. So I had to make sure it was the right one. Was it the day we were flying home a couple trips ago? We were at Disney Springs, I think, killing time again, if I'm remembering right. And we went back into where the boathouse is, which is of course a restaurant. Actually, the Amphibicar launch is right there too. I'm just going to call it what I want to call it.
Perfect.
Anyway, and so if you go towards the back, there's this bar that's kind of over the water and it's sheltered. But it's so neat and there's plenty of seating back there. So we went and we got a nice drink. There was a nice breeze. We were in the shade and just people watching out on the water, people watching just the rest of Disney Springs. It was so lovely and I had no idea it was back there.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't have that on my list because I was thinking it was like a restaurant, but that did.
Yeah, that's why I was kind of cheating.
For some reason, when I think about Disney Springs, that's like one of the first things that pops into my head. Like I so enjoyed that because it was just, I don't know if it was, maybe it was winter at home. So getting there, maybe it was just when we were getting there, just leaving or whatever, but it was so sunny and warm and this beautiful breeze. And
Gigi was back there eating Cheerios. She was a little bit younger.
Yeah, I loved that.
That was good vibes. Even if you don't drink, like just go back there and have yourself a cola. Yeah. But it's just the vibe of the whole area back there is so cool. And I think you could even order appetizers if I'm remembering right.
I think so too. Yeah.
So
and that's the thing with
go.
Disney. I mean, they're bars, but they're not really bars.
Yeah,
they're like pretty much every bar is family friendly. You can take, kids in and
there are a few exceptions, but generally, especially like outside during the day type.
Yeah. At night, maybe a little different, but yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So my number 6 was Splitsville. And so we've already talked a lot about it. You've already talked, all my major points. But it really is such a fun thing. I'm glad they added a bowling alley there. And I feel like it's one of those things that it's such a fun memory to have bowled in Disney. And I know you can bowl in pretty much any city in America, but I don't know why that. It's a really, really nice, like you said, it's really well kept up. But it's the 2 stories and it's such a fun environment.
It is.
That, And
very festive.
And I was sad the last time we went that we didn't bowl. I kind of thought we were going there to eat and then bowl, but then it was late and everybody was like, no, I don't want to bowl. So no, I want to go back.
Tyler got steamrolled, yeah.
I mean, to be fair, I bowl like a 32, so I'm not any good, but it's fun.
See, I bowl so terribly, I don't even know what's good or bad. I don't remember if a high number or a low number is good.
I think a 200 is a
I confuse
perfect
it
game.
with Topgolf, which I'm also terrible at, but
Those
it is fun.
Very different things.
Are they though? If you really think about it, you sure about that? You sure? You all know the meme. Okay.
I didn't know about it until yesterday. So
TikTok.
Jessica told me all about it. I'm out of the loop.
I can't believe you. Yeah, that's insane. Oh, my number 5 could have easily been my number 1. Okay.
Whoa.
And you still haven't experienced the glory of what I'm about to talk about.
Oh my.
The ice cream at Salt and Straw. There are plenty of places to get ice cream at Disney Springs, but I'm going to need you to take them off of your list and put Salt and Straw to the top and get the one that's caramel something. My mouth is watering and I'm hungry, so that's not helping anything. That is the best ice cream I've ever had, and I would consider myself someone that eats a lot of ice creams. Also, I don't know if you guys know this, but when I was 16, I worked at Dairy Queen, so All my friends make fun of me because I bring it up a weird amount.
You do bring it up a weird amount.
Weird.
Very proud of your time at the DQ.
Yeah, it was a family affair and we all worked there. Anyway, why am I talking so nasal all of a sudden? My point is that is the best ice cream ever. I cannot wait for you to experience it. Can't wait for me to experience it again.
There's always a place for you at the DQ.
I know. Work there in the summer, maybe.
Some people just come and get Coke.
Get a Coke.
Okay. So my number 5, right? 5 was Uniqlo. And
Nice.
for a lot of the same reasons that Jessica said. But specifically, my favorite coat, the coat I wear 90% of the time, is from there. And it can fold up to this little teeny tiny thing, but it is so warm. It is like the warmest coat I have, and I don't know what science engineering magic they have done. But it's like this down coat. And they have thicker ones too, but I'm like, this one is plenty warm.
And I don't even think it's like down. It's like, whatever polyester mumbo jumbo.
Yeah, it is so warm, and I wear it all the time. And if it's like frigid out, I still wear that, and I'll put another coat over it. But it is just so toasty and warm. I don't know, it's amazing. But I have some T-shirts from there. I have I buy a lot of their like long johns, like Under Armour kind of, or not Under Armour, like
but it is
that
like
kind of stuff. Like if I'm going on a run, I'll wear that and stuff, like underneath whatever. But I just love it there, and it's such a fun, and everything is so cheap. And
well, comparatively,
it's really good.
I feel like the prices have maybe gone up a bit, but I'm talking like $1, like as everything has. But yeah, compared to the Disney pricing, literally all around it, it is like weirdly cheap.
And I just like the vibe of that store. It's just a fun store to go in, and it when we get to my number 1, this is one of my locations for my number 1.
Okay.
Remember that.
Oh, I think I just figured it out. All right, my number 4, Basin. Now, you can buy Basin products online. I always like to point that out because a lot of people are like, oh, I only go to Disney, or I've only been once. They make bath products, so like bath bombs, bath salts, etc. And it's just one of those stores. It's such a happy store to go into. Like, you can make your own bath salt things and scoop them in. You can pick out, and they've got Disney bath bombs, and they're just actually good products, Disney aside. But they have a location there. They have one at Grand Floridian. I think it's called Basin White there. But I love it. And every once in a while, I'll go and get like their smaller bath bomb, like little pearls, and I'll get a bath like at our Disney hotel with those, which is just such a treat. But this time our bath was in like within the same room as, it was odd. So neither of us got a bath.
It was not as bad.
Because like Felicity was sleeping in, like it just wasn't really an option.
It was not as bad as the ones at Bay Lake Tower though, where literally there was like an open window into the bathroom. Like there was a separate water closet with the toilet, but then the actual like bath is just in the middle of the master bedroom.
And we're talking like in the villas, so like the regular rooms wouldn't be like this. But yeah, it was an interesting design choice.
Yeah.
Like who
just put a door
doesn't want privacy in the bath? I'm just gonna say that.
Just put a door on it. Yeah, anyway, it smells really good in there. That's all I know.
Oh, and there was like a little Basin pop-up shop at Epcot and World Showcase. I don't know if it was just a festival thing. I have a strong suspicion it will do well enough that it will linger. And, they're always having a festival. There's always an excuse. So, but it was so cool. I'm like, that is absolutely genius. It was back by the like refreshment outpost area, kind of where they have some African stuff. You know what I'm talking about?
I was going to say, is Basin a Disney brand?
I'm pretty sure it's its own brand.
Okay.
It's just one of those that kind of like Joffrey's Coffee is its own brand, but they do stuff for Disney. I think that's my understanding.
Okay, gotcha.
I used to get some PR from Basin, y'all. That was awesome.
But do they have any other locations, or is it just the Disney locations?
They might have one or two other, but it's not a lot. Like it definitely is their basis. And I think they've grown a bit recently. I haven't looked into it.
I know that I always go in and I wash my hands with their hand soap thing. That's like it's like got, what
like
is
the
it, sugar or
scrubbies.
whatever.
Yeah, there's sugar scrub. Oh, baby.
Your hands have never been softer.
That's true. It's like a baby's bottom.
My number 4 is the Co-op. And the Co-op is very cool because, I mean, again, it's just another Disney store. It just looks it just looks a little different. I know that. But
don't tell the other people.
Don't tell anyone. It's just a Disney store. But
and I'll tell you why.
But I do feel like they have a lot of unique things in there that you can't get elsewhere. Yeah. And a lot of things that even maybe are non-Disney things. They used to have a men's shop there. And I was just telling you about this. I feel like there's so much cool stuff for you. And I cannot find very much cool stuff for me anymore. They used to have this thing called 23 in Maine.
28 in Maine. I was just looking at it today. It's the only
But I loved all of the stuff. I brought a couple things from there, and they were all like I don't know, like subtle style, but they were.
But they still have all that cool stuff, and I always think it's super cool for you. And you're like, I'm like, you're just so refined, aren't you? Because yeah, I have different tastes than you for you.
But anyway, it's still really cool, and I like that I feel like it's constantly changing. It used to be like these 4 quadrants in the main area, and now I feel like every time we go in, it's still those 4, but now it's like open, and then they had like a D-Tech area, but like it's constantly in flux and constantly changing, which I think is pretty cool. Now
I think that's probably the intention.
In the back section now, it's all Marvel stuff, and then like in the middle, sometimes they're like making candles and stuff like that. I don't know. It's just kind of a cool environment. It's I like the new Disney Springs style that they've brought.
Yeah, I think they did a good job. I will talk about that now because that is my number 3. Perfect.
Okay.
Maketplace Co-op. So specifically for me, I was looking up, there were actually, as it turns out, names for the different sections. And I knew like the front section was called Trendy. Remember?
Yes.
I'm now remembering. I must have deleted something accidentally. Oh, there it is. Okay. Yeah. So there's Trendy, which has a lot of the cool stuff. I mean, it just has a lot of cool stuff. Again, similar to DisneyStyle. I had to look up the difference because I was like, wait. Anyway, very similar, kind of more unique that you wouldn't find at just World of Disney. But they also have an area that's like kitchen and home. And that I think is my true favorite area of that. And I think it's called Centerpiece. If it's still called that, again, I'm Google image searching and stuff.
Yeah.
But that is where they have so many cute like plates and cups and towels for your home and kitchen. And I feel like we rarely buy things there, but I love looking at it.
Yeah.
And then that front area where they have a lot of historic stuff. So like literally my desk is right there and I have here, hand it to me. I saw that it was sold out on the Shop Disney site.
This is a new collection that they're doing.
Yeah, and it says Walt Disney Studios, and it's a Post-it note holder, but it looks like an old Walt Disney Studios typewriter. It's so cute. But they have all kinds of that kind of thing up there, and I could buy all of it. Yeah,
that is one thing that with the Disney 100 being around now, this new brand or this new line they're doing, they did have a lot of cool stuff. They had some cool ornaments. They had they had, I don't know, 3 or 4 things that I thought about getting. I didn't end up getting any of them, but I thought that was really cool. But I just never used Post-it, so I'm glad that you bought it.
I actually do. It's a holdover from my teaching days. I'm pretty sure I still have a teaching hangover. It's like a constant headache that won't go. No, I'm kidding. Kind of. Anyway, if you're a teacher, you understand.
Was that your number 3?
Yeah.
Okay, so then my number 3 is Sugarboo, which I like a lot more than you. Also, I'm just realizing something, but we'll talk about it in a minute. So Sugarboo Co. is my favorite store in all of Disney Springs. And I just, every time I go in, they've got these really cool books. They've got really cool stuff for homes. They've got like cool barware. They've got, like they have all different things with quotes, whether it's like posters and that kind of stuff. But I love the quotes they have.
Yeah.
And I feel like so many times I go through and they have like a bin and you can just, they're little cards, that, use them as a bookmark, but you can use them just to frame them, or you can, there's a million uses for them. Yeah. But I have found some really, really cool quotes there, but I just love the style of the stuff there. Like you bought me a luggage tag there that has some cool like travel quotes on it, and they have a lot of travel stuff in that. They have a little kids area, but I think, like you said, the kids stuff is just wildly expensive. And it's never anything, but like the actual stuff that I like, I think it's expensive but reasonably priced. Given where you are, but they just have so much cool stuff in that store. It just makes me so happy. It's not vintage, but it has the vintage feel to it. A lot of it. I love it. It's definitely, whenever we go, that's like the one store I want to go in. Yeah, it's very much a Tyler store. It's a me store too, but like when I think of you in Disney Springs, I think of Sugarboo Co. Yeah. You're a little cutie. Number 2 is getting Starbucks or Joffrey's coffee. Although what's interesting, I feel like I more often get Joffrey's in the parks. And even though there's like a big Joffrey's thing at Disney Springs, we tend to always get Starbucks at Disney Springs. And I don't know if it's location based. Like by the time we're ready to get like iced coffee or something, Starbucks is right there. Because there's at least 2 locations now. Yeah. Remember, there's the new one. And anyway, getting a Starbucks or Joffrey's, and well, I was going to say walking around the shops. I would say sitting and watching live music. And of course, you could insert getting a margarita at like the Dockside Margaritas or whatever and watching whatever. But for me, getting an iced coffee, watching live music, because there's
always something going on. Always a live performance, whether it's like over at the Irish pub, whether it's at the other entrance by like the garages, whether it's in the big pavilion where there's like random schools performing. It's so fun. And I think for me, that's exactly why Disney Springs is so, I mean, beyond, obviously it's fun because there's shops and stuff to do and restaurants. But I think that's what's made it so much fun is it always feels like there's something live going on, like you're in a park. But again, it's free to go to. Mm-hmm. And yet it just feels so festive. The atmosphere is so festive. And I think that's what makes it so different than like any other shopping district in any town, anywhere, USA or the world.
And there's places around here that are, I mean, they have similar things, but not to this scale.
Not this level.
And not to, I mean, there's not the live performances. There's not, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm going to actually combine my number 2 and number 1.
Okay.
And then you're going to go back to your number 1 because my 2 basically combine exactly what you just said with a few variations. So my number 2 technically was the live music and the performances. Mm-hmm. And then my number 1 was getting a High Life, which is my all-time favorite beer, and just walking around and being in Disney Springs. That is one, like, especially like when the sun is setting, just having a High Life. It doesn't matter really what shop I'm in. Like Sugarboo, Uniqlo, like those ones I feel like we always go in.
Mm-hmm.
But just literally just like in the evening, the golden hour, just walking around with a really great beer and just being there and like stopping to watch some performances. And sometimes, I don't know, there'll be like mimes and there'll be like accordion players and there'll be like a full like high school choir, and then there'll be like a guy playing guitar and some guy playing the didgeridoo. You never know what you're gonna find there.
Never know.
Literally every musician that I think I've seen there has been unbelievable. They used to have this person, I don't know if she's still there, that literally went on like a Vanessa Carlton piano, and she would like literally like drive her piano around. It was the coolest thing in the world.
I don't remember
And she never sang 1,000 Miles, and it made me very upset.
Oh my gosh, what a missed opportunity.
But so that's my number 2, number 1 really just combined. Just being in the environment, especially with a High Life in my hand. That's
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have guessed that was your number 1 for sure.
Yeah.
So my number 1 is kind of like, but when I thought, no, I mean, I feel strongly about it.
Yeah.
But I feel like everyone's going to be like, really? But
yeah.
I know you guys, and I know you're going to know. I'm kidding. But you know what I mean? It is World of Disney, the big old Disney store. And when I thought about like every time we've ever gone, we always go in there, and there's a reason, because we have kids, and it's just like super fun to like, okay, this is your one big time. You can buy one thing. You can pick one thing. But for me, I'm like, that is not the brain, but like the throbbing heart of Disney Springs is the big old Disney store. I just love that shop. It gives me all the Disney feels, like all the things I love about Disney are all reflected in there, and I love it. I don't think I've ever left empty-handed.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I do love the World of Disney store, but as I was going through my list, I had already had these 10. And then I was like, oh, I didn't include that. And I'm like, these are a little bit different. Yeah. But I do obviously love the World of Disney. And again, with the whole remodel they've done recently, they did such a nice job, I feel like, of making it a lot more modern and up to date. It's a very cool space.
It's still magical. Magical. And it makes me think too, I think this is maybe the bigger thing. It makes me think of the Disney stores that we all had, or maybe some of you guys still have. I don't think we do. But the Disney stores that were in all of our malls. So that was my only grasp into the Disney world as a kid. And so I think it just still holds that like little magical pixie dust feeling.
Yeah. I definitely get that. So, okay, I have a few very quick.
HMs, honorable mentions. Yeah. All right, let's rapid fire.
Blast them. Okay. So the Aerophile balloon, which again.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah. It's called, so it's called the Aerophile balloon.
They should call it the Amphib balloon.
Well, I looked into it. Because I just call it the Disney Springs balloon, but it's on the map. It's specifically called that. And I looked into it because it says the Aerophile balloon, the world leader in balloon flight. And so I thought, is it like a pun like Walt Disney World, like the world leader? But then I looked into it. So this is an actual company that puts these up. I thought it was like a Disney thing. I didn't even realize it. But they are like the number 1 tethered air balloon company in the world.
A lot safer.
They have, I looked it up on their website. They have over 1 million passengers per year. They have balloons in 40 countries and over 120 locations. And they have aero bars, which is the same thing, but it's literally a bar around the outside. And then they have like a bartender in the middle. So it's pretty nifty. So this company, but it's such a quintessential part of the skyline to me when it comes to Disney Springs, but I've never actually.
Yeah, I figured it was like Disney run and operated. So that's pretty neat. Okay. I didn't even think of that. So is that your only honorable mention, or are we going back and forth real fast?
I'll run through mine really fast.
No.
So, okay, so the Amphicars, which I ended up moving to my actual list. Cirque du Soleil, I'm sure we would love it if we were to go and see it.
Yes.
Have not seen it yet, so it didn't go on the list, but I would like to go see that.
Yes, me too.
And then my last honorable mentions, which half the people, when I talk about this in a vlog, were like, oh my gosh, that's the coolest thing ever. And half the people were like, you backcountry hick. Like, how have you not known this? The garage lights. So we always take Disney transportation when we're there, but because we were there in January and we were going back and forth for the agency conference, I had a rental car. And one night we went over to Disney Springs, and they have lights above every spot. And if it's green, that means the spot is open, and if it's red, that means the spot is taken.
So when you're looking down the lane, you can actually see.
Yeah, so from like basically the entire level, you can see if there's a green light. It's really cool, and I was so impressed by this technology. And half the people were like, "Oh my gosh, that's so brilliant! You go up and down so many aisles." And then half the people were like, "We've had those for like 20 years."
Yeah, I wish our airport had them, honestly.
Yeah. But anyway, I love those lights.
You just love them so much. No, it really is so smart. All right. Wow. Mine are all different. So my honorable mentions really quickly, the train and the carousel. We did those. Obviously you have to pay. So it's like, okay, well, we've already paid for the Disney parks. Like, so, there's a reason we had not tried them really until this past trip, but Genevieve loved them so much. So that was just kind of a cool, like if you're dragging your kids around to like restaurants and shops and they're not super into it, that's like, it could be a carrot you dangle for a while. Anyway, playing in the water area. So a lot of my like people I follow, Disney vloggers, have young kids, and they will literally bring like their swimsuit and a swim diaper and let them play in the less splash areas by the garages. You know what I'm talking about, by the movie theater?
Yeah.
Genius. I don't think we've ever done it like in earnest, but that's totally something people do. So that's something to consider. The Lego store is so cool if you're into that. Plus, I don't know if they have reopened it recently. I should have checked. But pandemic and everything, you could go out and like build stuff with the Legos just on this little outer area of the store.
Yeah.
And again, Genevieve is at an age where she just absolutely loved it. And it was something for kids to do at Disney Springs. So that was a cool one. The M&M store is always fun.
I almost put that on my
just a fun one to walk through, Maybe get a little M&Ms, overpriced M&Ms, but...
Right. Yeah, they're weirdly expensive there. They should be super cheap there.
No,
but they're not.
They shan't be. But they're not. And then the Days of Christmas I put on mine. And then the Vera Bradley store. If you're into, like, I like going and looking at the Disney prints because they're always different. And they'll have, like, cute makeup bags and, like, lanyards and stuff. Like, I feel like I always had a lanyard from there that was Disney when I was teaching. Anyway, so that's just a fun one. I always pop in and peek around.
Yeah.
Those are all mine.
I love it. Okay. So let's quickly, because we're already, I think, over an hour in.
We told ourselves this one will be shorter. We'll do 40 minutes.
Yeah, right. Okay, so some of the responses from you all.
Yeah, so first of all, just to preface this, we post on our Instagram, which is at Disneyville Podcast, what your guys' favorites. Now, we should have probably said not food because, again, that's future stuff. So a lot of this is food. So should we skip over some of the food stuff and try to just do within the rules and then ask again come
because I'm seeing a lot of Homecoming, a lot of Polite Pig, a lot of that kind of stuff. But we're the Boathouse. Okay, but we're going to try and do a few here. So
I can't log in, so this is just going to be you.
Okay. No, we'll go back and forth. Okay, so Martha, who is an agent at People Mover Travel, said a couple things. She said Salt and Straw, which is the ice cream place that you said.
Yes.
Pizza Point. Pizza is as close.
Pizza Ponte.
Where's that?
Pizza Ponte is California Adventure, isn't it?
I don't know. She says Pizza Point. Pizza is as close to New York pizza you're going to get in Florida. And she's from New York, so that probably means something. But I have no idea where that is.
I've never.
And then the Christmas tree stole at Christmas, basically a scavenger hunt.
Oh, strolling through. Yeah, we haven't done that in a while. We definitely should because all the Christmas vibes. Okay, so JCF said Sephora. I love that Sephora. It's special. Okay, I totally agree. As a makeup lover, it's special. I just totally love it.
Alex Herrera 91 said letting my son play at the Lego store, just like you were saying. Yeah,
it's just fun, especially if you have a kid that's into it. But again, just having something for the kids to do that's kid-centered is nice. There we go. Oh my gosh. Okay.
Oh, two of them. Yeah.
Yeah. Frank Fairler, hopefully I said that right, says Disney Quest. Haha, cries. I love watching. I was just watching a video a few months ago about Disney Quest and what it was like and reminding myself of what it was like. So I was like, we went to Disney Quest. And if you'd never heard of it, it was this big, not warehouse, but this big area that had all of these like VR games, but it was like old VR. And it was like the kind that makes you absolutely motion sick.
Oh my gosh. They had these big old headsets that came out like this far and you were like trying
to...
Oh,
man, and it was like 3 or 4 floors. There was like a food area in there. Like, smelled like feet, but like in a good way. Just all the Discovery Zone dreams. No, it was so weird. I loved it, but I totally get why they shut it down.
Yeah.
And then also Madison Smith said, wash your hands at Basin.
Yep.
Like you said.
100%.
Get those baby bottom smooth hands. And they smell good.
A lot of Gideons, a lot of Wine Bar Georges have come up.
The brunch at Wine Bar George. I know we're not talking food. Very good.
Free People store. Have you been inside Free People?
Yeah,
I just saw it last time.
It's a store. Like, I mean, it's a store that's everywhere.
Elsewhere.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So, yeah.
Really cute clothes.
The Irish Dancers at Raglan Road, which obviously is a restaurant. Yeah. But, yeah, that is very cool. That was... Sorry, we're trying to do this really fast because our camera's about to turn off. So we're literally blasting through these. But that Maggie J. Rose said that, the dancers. Kayla Taylor 831 said Gideon's or Salt and Straw ice cream.
Yeah, Gideon's, by the way, have those like famous thick cookies. We've made some like copycat ones at home and they're really good, but we still have some Gideon's ones in the freezer. Oh, I know what we're having tonight. Yep. Ooh, I might have it today. Oh my gosh.
I'm so glad you remembered that.
Oh,
yeah,
I'm so excited.
Bailey and Stephanie, when we were there, bought us those. So thank you, Bailey and Stephanie. We still have a few.
We just forgot. We still have some.
I'm so glad you remembered that.
I know.
Haley Schmitz said, seeing the Lego statues, the dragon in the water is a staple since childhood. So true.
It's been there for so long, right?
Yeah, I love that. It comes and goes up and out of the water. Yeah, it's very, very cool.
Shelby Lauren 365 said the co-op vibes are, yes, 100%. This is something we've never done. RMH0116 said, purchase a box of chocolates at the Ganachery.
Oh, yeah.
I think we've maybe been once and gotten something. I don't even know. There's so many different, like there's also Amorette's Patisserie. Like there's so many cute little like places like that.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for, this was a struggle to get through a little bit here today. Because like I said, it's amazing just having an extra week off. I'm like, I feel so out of practice.
Well, and also Felicity's here and we've had a lot of interruptions and like someone at the door. But like literally, if you guys saw the behind the scenes of filming this podcast today, I can't believe we made it through because there were like 1,800.
I know. And literally our camera battery is at 0%. So it's about to end. So we are going to end this here. Thank you so much for watching or listening if you're doing it on the podcast.
Yeah.
This has been a blast and I'm excited to get back into this.
Yes.
And let us know what you want to hear on the next episode because we don't know what we're going to do yet.
We have a list of 100 things. We just need to pick.
Yeah.
So help us pick.
Awesome.
Love you guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.